Yo, it is Saturday, February 1st, and you're kicking it with Kuya Kicks. It's 2025, and I'm hoping to up my stream frequency, content frequency, and finally hit my goal of 1,000 subs by the end of the year. So this is another segment to have people follow me as I unbox new toys, revisit old favorites, play my favorite video games, interview people in the collectibles and gaming community, and more. I feel that I've been definitely posting a lot of more of my Smash highlight reels and kills and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to get back to collectibles. I think the last one that I unboxed and transformed was the Studio Series Transformers One Optimus Prime. And then I did an unboxing for a phone lockbox case, something that's been helping me get some sleep, which is great. But what I want to get back to today is something very exciting, which is the Studio Series Ultra Magnus from the Transformers 86 movie. So Hasbro actually recently announced that they are reissuing this figure here from the 86 movie, and it's up for pre-order at a bunch of different stores. And I had the original release, which came out in November 2023. So just, I guess, like 13, 14 months ago, over a year ago. And I had this in storage. And I thought that this would be a great time to unbox him to give people a chance to see what's inside and, whether or not this is something that they actually want to pre-order. Now, another thing that I want to do is definitely shout out the homie Danny Green Collects. Danny, one of my boys, who has really put me on to a lot of TF in recent years, was the one who hooked me up with this. I believe it was the Awesome Toy Show, the holiday show that they had in December 2023. And he was there posted up for Titan Toys. I was there posted up with Scars and Strops doing our Smash Brothers tournaments. And it just so happened that, he had one of these, left in stock, which was awesome. This was probably either the first or second Transformers, the movie 86 movie Studio Series figures that I picked up. I believe the first one that I picked up was the Hot Rod on Facebook Marketplace, and then this, or it was either I got this and then I got the other one. And that definitely, gave me the bug, the itch to get into the Studio Series Transformers, the movie. And the reason, or movie collection, and the reason why, I stayed off it is that, I grew up with, a couple Transformers, but by the time, I was getting toys for myself, it was the G2 releases and then Beast Wars, and then finally into the Bayverse for the figures that I was picking up. So G1 was something that I just barely missed. I loved the G1 cartoon, at least the first couple of seasons, but it was totally something that was more up my uncle's alley, I would say. And this movie came out when I was one, so it's not like I understood what was going on, but I definitely knew that my uncle, my Tito Derek, he had a whole bunch of different figures from the movie, including a G1 Ultra Magnus, which I also have in storage somewhere, and I haven't touched it in a while. It is incomplete, so it just kind of sits in a bin. And ever since then, I know that there were a whole bunch of different versions, like Chug versions of Transformers and what have you, but none of them really spoke to me. I think that I started to get a little bit closer to the G1 style of the franchise, probably when the War for Cybertron trilogy on Netflix came out, but still, there was nothing that was really compelling, for me to actually go and pick this up. Or pick up an Ultra Magnus figure. The best ones for sure were the Masterpiece, and then now there's third-party and fourth-party Ultra Magnus figures out there as well, but they were just beyond my price point and also beyond my scale. I don't collect any Masterpiece Transformers outside of I have my Optimus and my Megatron in my glass case, and then my Beast Wars are all Masterpiece figures. But when it comes down to G1, again, I just don't have that affinity to G1 enough to spend for the Masterpiece. And that has changed since the price point from a value perspective is a lot better when it comes down to the Studio Series. And also the screen accuracy of the Studio Series figures is definitely what speaks to me a lot more. When I think about the Chug releases that they've had and Titan's Return gimmicks and a whole bunch of other types of stuff, there was definitely it just wasn't the iteration of Ultra Magnus that I was looking for. And I know there's a whole bunch of out there. There's, again, after Titan's Return, there was the Siege and a whole bunch of other ones and a couple of Netflix reissues. And not, again, it wasn't exactly what I wanted. Once Studio Series came around and they started creating Studio Series versions of these figures, that's really when I started to say, okay, I'm in. So funny enough, when I was in Hawaii last year, I ended up picking up, or after I picked up this Ultra Magnus and the Hot Rod, I started to look online, and I ended up finding a whole bunch of stuff. And I'll pull that up actually right now. We got a comment here from Primus the Creator saying, "Dude, this is so sick! So super happy you're able to get him." And yeah, dude, this is actually, if you missed it, this was the original release. This is from the November, or December release of 2023. So he's been on ice. So the reason why I'm unboxing this today is just to kind of, show people like whether or not they should be pre-ordering the reissue that's coming out soon. So thanks for the comment there. And I wanted to share really quickly this guy. So after I picked up the Ultra Magnus and the Hot Rod on Facebook Marketplace and at the Awesome Toy Show, I ended up going ham. Like, I mean, I went all in on picking up, Transformers or like, different types of stuff. So specifically when I was in Hawaii last January with my wife, then fiance, or not even, she was my girlfriend. I proposed in Hawaii. She said yes. And then we just got married actually last month. So shout out to my lovely wife. I ended up going to Ross and Target and Marketplace and a whole bunch of stuff. And this was my Hawaii haul that I picked up last year that I haven't really shared with anybody. But there's a good mix there. But what you'll notice there on the top left is a whole bunch of Transformers. So I have the Galvatron, I have the Coronation Starscream, I have Nest Bumblebee, Blur, RC, a Scourge, or no, a Cyclonus, I believe. So I started to really go in on collecting these, and I think I got a cup as well. You see some other Transformers there. I have the Ryu and Bison and Ken and Chun-Li crossover figures there as well. And then the rest of them are more Hammond collection dinosaurs. I have some Lego there. I have starting lineup, Universal figures, Marvel Legends, Joes and stuff. But that was my haul. But I just want to kind of show that, like, pretty much from the moment I picked up the Ultra Magnus, that was certainly, when, things kind of changed up, and I said, hey, I'm going to commit to, getting into this line, because they are more screen accurate now. They scale, I think, really well. And the price point is right. So yeah. So before we get into it, I just want to give a shout out. Again, we have Primus the Creator, that did the original comment saying that he's happy that I picked it up. Again, I'm happy that I'm finally unboxing it, actually. And then we also have Primus Productions in the chat. Yo, what's up, Primus? So I think, yeah, let's get into it, shall we? Let's go ahead and grab my handy dandy gloves so that you don't see my dry ass hands and other types of gnarly stuff that may be lingering on my fingers. But yeah, if you're in the chat, let me know you're here. Let me know what you collect, what games you play, and stuff like that, and where you're coming from. Happy to have y'all on the stream today. But as I mentioned, yeah, I posted like a crazy amount of reels on my Instagram and even on my Instagram shorts, just cutting up some old Super Smash Brothers highlight videos. And, I want to make sure that I don't go too far away from the collectibles and the toys, and get back, to unboxing and stuff as well, just to kind of keep that content variety up. And if it's your first time on the channel, that's pretty much what I'm known for. Kuya means like older brother or mentor in Tagalog, which is a Filipino dialect. And Kix is my nickname. So Francisco is shortened to Kiko, which is like a family nickname. And then the shorter, hyper abbreviated version of that is Kix. So Kuya Kix literally means older brother Francisco or mentor Francisco. And I'm known for definitely competitive gaming. I work in the esports industry, and then also collecting, because I used to do toy photography, and now I still kind of do marketing campaigns for different retailers from time to time. So shout out to Titan Toys and the gang over there, and also shout out to my partner in crime, Drew Olive. If you're not following Drew Olive on Instagram, take a look at his handle for some killer toy photography. And on that note, Titan Toys, if you go to titantoys.com, you can save 5% by using the promo code TOYBACON, and you'll get 5% off collectibles at any time. So let's go ahead and crack this guy open, shall we? Let's switch up the view to make sure that you get a good view of Ultra Magnus here. And he is huge. I needed to pull the top-down camera up, pretty far to make sure that the entire box was in frame. But that's what you can expect from a Commander class figure like this. I believe Optimus is about the same size. Hold on, let's see. Do I have the Optimus box? I don't. I think I either collapsed the Optimus box or tossed it in storage. But in any case, he's a Commander class. He's a big boy, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the box here. So as you expect, you see a little bit of glare there. So I'll just go ahead and tilt that. You can see Ultra Magnus here with his blaster in hand. You have the Takara Tomy and Autobot Transformers Generations logo on the top there. Of course, you see the Transformers movie logo over here with Studio Series Ultra Magnus on the bottom. 86, because I believe that's just kind of calling out the line that we're in. And then also 21, maybe it's the 21st figure in the series. I'm not sure how the number convention works, but that is the front. On the side, not even going to be able to fit this. This is crazy. This is such a huge fucking box, but what are you going to do? There's the 86 and 21 again, Studio Series, and a close-up of Ultra Magnus's screaming face there, and then the call out to the Commander class right on the bottom. On the opposite side, you have the full or taller kind of version of Ultra Magnus across the spine, and then finally the insignia of authenticity for Transformers there, and then the Transformers, the movie logo over here, and one of the Autobot chips. I don't know exactly what that is. And then the bottom with all the legal jargon and stuff like that. So on the back is where we could see a lot more. Now we're not looking at the art, but more now we're looking at the renders of Ultra Magnus. So you can see his robot form there. And then you also have a section over here that shows that he actually does have the matrix of leadership in his chest, and that could be removed. And the cool thing about his alt mode is this huge truck. A couple things is that one, he comes with blast effects, which is awesome. And the other thing is that he can actually tow deluxe class figures. So there is a little, render of like a transparent, like ghosting kind of figure of, it looks like Ultra or Hot Rod is on the top there, a silhouette of Hot Rod. And then the back looks like Jazz because it has that big spoiler. And then finally, it does have that backdrop that all the Studio Series figures comes with. And then it is a 43-step conversion. So on the bottom, it says here, Ultra Magnus leads defensive measures against the Decepticons invading Autobot City. And then again, you have your regular legal stuff here and the Hasbro logo. And that is the box. So I think that is enough dilly-dallying with the box. Let's go ahead and cut this bad boy open. So pull out my trusty knife. Make the incision here. And let's go ahead and pull this bad boy open. This is super exciting. I think, I opened the Optimus, which is, I think, the first Commander class that I've ever opened before. I still have a Jetfire on ice that I got to take out. Yeah, so this is my second Commander class figure that I've ever unboxed. Let's go ahead and take this guy out. And wow, this guy is massive. So yeah, I'm just going to toss the box off to the side. I typically don't keep all the inserts and everything else like that. I will likely just kind of compress that box because I like the art, but I won't be keeping all this tray, cardboard, and all that other types of stuff. But damn, look at this thing in the tray already. Hold on, before we do that, let's just get these formalities out of the way. You have your usual legal sheet that's included here with different languages, and then you have your instructions here with Ultra Magnus. So pretty much, again, what you can expect, all the instructions that are here. And we'll go through this 43-step process in a minute, but let's go ahead and take a look at the tray first and foremost to see our homie Ultra Magnus in all his glory. So he is in his bot mode when he is shipped, and you can see that he's pegged down because he's a pretty hefty build inside here. And notably, I'm seeing a couple things that are missing right out of the tray, and that's just because of the way that it's sort of packaged. So first and foremost, he doesn't have his like little antenna that are, you know, those white antenna that should stick out there. And then he also doesn't have his like shoulder kind of missiles and stuff. And then he's also missing his gun. But I imagine that everything is going to be packed in this paper packaging over here. So let's go ahead and just get this tray out first, because I want to speak to the backdrop. Again, this isn't something that I typically keep, but I do want to cover it at least during this this video. And this is the Autobot City diorama. So for those who are unfamiliar, Studio Series figures come packed with these backgrounds, which are a great option for collectors who need a little bit of shelf personality, and they don't want to just kind of put you know, figures on their shelves or wherever else they kind of store their stuff. So this is a cool way, you know, for collectors to kind of you know, pose and position their figures. I personally don't use them because they take too much space. So depending on the type of background, I will sometimes just literally recycle it, throw it in the trash. But sometimes I do keep them, you know, just for, you know, taking a photo of it, scanning it at least to kind of have that background. But to be honest, I haven't done toy photography in quite some time, and I don't plan on getting back into it because Andrew is doing such a great job. Excuse me, with Toy Bacon and everything else. So my focus is more so on these reviews, videos, unboxings, and then also gaming stuff, which is more of my forte when it comes down to you know, creating content. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab a better pair of scissors so I could snip this guy out, and then we can take a look at the accessories. So give me a hot second. All right, let's what are we gonna do? We're gonna free this guy from his shackles. So there are quite a bit of these plastic kind of bands and stuff like that that kind of keep him in place. Rightfully so. I mean, like I'm gonna say, like, for sure, this is probably one of the biggest Transformers that I've ever seen, like, you know, or purchased. Outside of, again, I have the Megatron and Optimus Masterpiece figures, but obviously they scale larger. And this is pretty much on a Masterpiece scale, or not scale, but it's on par with some of the Masterpiece figures. You know, but he's considered, again, a commander class when it comes down to the Studio Series. So we'll go ahead and let's look for all of the places where we can remove these bands here. So there's one on this leg, one on that leg. There's the waist piece here. He has his forearms. See there? Another one here. And one across the chest right up here. And let's see if that is everything. Let's just move everything out of the way. Looks like there's a few around the shoulders. Oh no, wait, these are just caught here. So there we go. Put him down under here. And then just go ahead and remove this accessory pack. And I'm just going to go ahead and slice that guy open. Excuse me. I put the tray, the box of with the backdrop on the floor over here, and of course my cat. First thing that she does is she jumps right into it. So, cats, am I right? Okay, let's go ahead and cut this open. This is a lot of tape. I want to make sure that I don't accidentally snip any of the accessories in here. All right. Now I could go. All right, let's see what we got in here. We have a blast effect part. We have a blaster. We have another blast effect part. We have a missile launcher. Another one. Another blaster. Another blast effect part. Missile part. I think that's an antenna. A lot more blast effect parts. Another antenna, another missile, and a final blast effect part there. I think this is it. Make sure that there's nothing left over. It would be really crappy if I ended up tossing out an accessory. But this is all the contents that come with Ultra Magnus here. Let's get these scissors out of the frame. And yeah, let's go ahead and sort these all out. Blast effects. These all look very interesting. I thought that they would be all the same, or at least have two sets of everything, but it's not the case. So I'm just going to lay everything out so y'all can see. There's this, this, and this. Two antenna, blaster, another blaster. So this is everything that's in the tray. Let's go ahead and take a look quickly at the instructions, because there are going to be some very basic instructions, which I'm sure I could figure out on my own, but I want to make sure that I'm installing everything correctly. So the first thing that it says are to snap on his antenna, which are right over here. So they look to be identical. Let's take a look at them actually in hand, up close. And sure enough, they do look pretty identical to me. So we're going to go ahead and snap them into his, oh, actually, no, they're not. One of them is a little bit offset, if you could see it on the bottom there. Yo, what's going on, Maximal versus Maximal? So let me see which side goes where. We are unboxing the Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus today. I see. So there are, if you look closely, there is a little groove, whoops, on the back of Ultra Magnus's head. So you do need to peg it in a specific way. I'm gonna try it. This is, oh, actually, I'm dumb. Look at this. If we actually lay them out and look on the interior, you actually see a little, can you see it there? A little left and right. There you go. I think that's in focus. Yeah, so you can see that this one's marked right, that one's marked left. So let's go ahead and take the right antenna, and then we'll just turn his head so you can see that clearly. And we'll take this peg and it goes right into the side of his head. At least that's what I'm telling myself, but it's not actually pegging in. There we go. And in addition to the way that it's marked left and right, there is a groove on the side right there, if you can see it. to make sure that it lines up. So you want to make sure that, again, not only does this peg go in, but this wing tip part should also go into that spot. And I believe that's just what keeps it from, you know, his antennas from kind of like bending, forward and back and stuff like that. So antenna are installed. That's looking good. And I realized that I did forget to snip off this piece off the backpack. But I think I could just pull it off this without scissors. Yeah, so let's go ahead, throw that out of the way, and then this little piece here, I guess this is just to kind of stop, the head from falling back or caving or anything like that. So this little piece of cardboard, we'll just dash it over here, and let's kind of straighten him out a little bit. He's such a hefty. This is a big ass figure. I know I've seen it on other videos, like MGO and Prime versus Prime and stuff like that. But in hand, this is, again, it feels like I'm holding a masterpiece figure because of just the sheer size of this. The majority of the figures that I have are deluxe class, even leader class and stuff like that. And the only other big commander class that I have is Jetfire, and he's still sealed. And then also because I'm a 12 scale collector, more into SH Figure Arts, Figma, and stuff like that, you don't see figures of this scale when it comes down to those import figures or a lot of domestic figures and stuff like that too. So this is a huge toy. So the other thing I want to do before getting into the figure is actually no. Let's go talk about the figure a little bit and just kind of give it a once over. Now that his antenna are installed, you can see his head over here because again these two were not installed when they come here. One thing that I'm noticing though is there's a little dimple on the left antenna, if you could see it there, and that's probably just due to like the molding process, but that kind of sucks that it's on the front. I wish they were able to get on the back. I'm going to spin this guy over to see. Yeah, see, you can see that little dimple on the back of this side, I think, just the way they do the injection mold or whatever. So it would have been nice if this was on the back, but actually let me try and rotate it and see if I can hide it. Does it rotate? Oh, it does. Sweet. So never mind. I was mistaken. So if you look closer again, I'm not sure if you saw the first time, but there you can see those two small little dimples on the antenna. I'm just turning them to the back so that, from a front perspective, you don't see the production or manufacturing kind of screws or whatever you want to call them there. But yeah, okay, sweet. That fixes that. And all right, taking a look at Ultra Magnus. Really looking really good. The head sculpt looks pretty solid. And then you can see that there is light piping. Do I have a phone where I can light up his eyes? Let me see here. Let's go and see. Does that work? Yeah, you can see that light piping really, really well. So I like the fact that they've been including that feature, which is a throwback to the original 80s and 90s toys, which is great. Again, I'm just kind of floored by the sheer size of this thing. Like it's crazy, to kind of have this in hand, especially when, like I said, I'm more of a 12 scale 6-inch action figure collector, and also the Transformers that I have are more in the deluxe. Well, I have like Bayverse, I've been getting Studio Series figures and stuff like that, but because the majority of the line are in that deluxe and even Voyager class scale, I'm not accustomed to having a figure this large, which is awesome. Taking a look, you see the smokestacks on the side over here. I don't know. I don't even know what else to say. The backpack, everything looks really clean. The paint all looks really clean so far. Trying to see if I see any blemishes. I mean, that Autobot insignia on the side is super clean. I can see the matrix of leadership. I don't know how to get to it yet, but I will look at the instructions shortly. yeah, this guy's just a beast, and looks very true. You know what I mean, to what I remember him looking like in the movie, at least, and also the original G1 action figure that my uncle passed down to me, which I mentioned is in storage. But I think he is missing a few things. I think I'm supposed to be mounting a few missiles on the side for his shoulders. Am I not? Let's see here. Yeah, so let's go through. We saw the figure. Let's talk about some of the accessories. And he has two blasters. He has this smaller blaster here, which isn't even that small, but it's nicely painted in silver. There. And then he has this huge blaster over here. You can see the difference. And also a nice painted silver. And it looks like both of these actually have these tabs on the side over here, and that those tabs are certainly going to be for weapon storage somewhere on the figure at some point. So we'll get into these. The other things that he comes with are these missile kind of pieces here. So you can see that one is a right and one is a left because there is a screw on one side and not the other. So you know how to mount them on each of their respective shoulders. And then the actual missile themselves. So these should peg into this port right over here. There you go. So that's one. And we'll go ahead and do two. That's the other. So there's two of these. And then the blast effects. So the way that they say to install the blast effects are, first and foremost, there's this one here, large piece that has the gray paint around the side. Okay. And then there is this wider piece over here. There is another slightly narrower piece that goes here. And then this taller piece, which goes on top. And then finally, this longer piece that goes on the end over here. And then you get this Christmas tree-esque blast effect, which is just massive. And then I think this all plugs in. Yeah, this all, if you want, can plug into his blaster. And then look at this. This is nuts. Like, that is a crazy cannon and massive blast effect shot. So yeah, there's that. So you can take this, and the other thing you can do is you can add these blast effects to this other one too. So you can have two separate guns with blast effects going at the same time, which is awesome. Go. And then the one extra one, which is pretty sweet. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and let's see. Let's get him into a position really quickly with the shoulder cannons mounted. So this one will peg in on this shoulder here. Go ahead and toss this in here. And then this one will peg into the right shoulder here. All right, so he has some weapon upgrades on the shoulders. And then let's go ahead and get one of the cannons in his hand. Before we do that, let's talk about some weapon storage. So on the back, there are two slots. So this is what we were talking about with these cannon pieces over here on the side. So first and foremost, this big laser over here, this blaster pegs into his butt. right over here. So you can go ahead and tab this in. There you go. That's mounted. It's not going anywhere. And then you have his smaller blaster over here. And you take this peg on the back and you plug it in right over here. There you go. So 2 weapons stored, one on his back right shoulder blade and the other one on the butt flap. And what else do we do? We can also use the blast effects on the shoulders. So let's go ahead and angle this up, and I'll quickly mount these effects for you. And of course, if there's anything specific you want to see about the figure, do let me know in the comments, and we will highlight that for you, certainly. There you go. So there, you could have his shoulder cannons mounted with the super huge, comically large blast effect, or this just the tip blast effect. But you can see, 2 different versions of, how you can mount the blast effects on his shoulders, which is pretty sweet. I love the fact that it comes with blast effects, especially at a commander class. I would not expect any less, but it would be nice if, even deluxe figures, like they don't need to have large blast effects. Like what I'm saying is like, this is a decent blast effect. I'm not even asking for this. Something even skinnier than this, or even something like these short little guys would be cool. To include with action figures moving forward. The other thing is, I'm surprised that they don't just sell blast effect parts, accessories on their own, because I think that collectors would probably, get those as an add-on, and just kind of want them for their, for their figures. But the other thing is that, there are so many, 3D customizers and aftermarket people that are creating blast effects, like Can of Beams, of course, the homie Pancheesy. Pancheesy, creates the Dusties and aura effects and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure that there are other people that are doing 3D printed, blast effects and stuff like that for Transformers. I know that there's even Energon cubes that are standard and that light up and stuff like that. But it would be cool if Hasbro just went ahead and produced them themselves, at least in my opinion. So I think that, oh no, that is not it. I'm gonna take his armory, his armory apart for now, because one thing I want to focus on is the matrix of leadership. And then after that, we can get into the articulation and then finally go through the 43-step transformation process. So let's go ahead and take a look at the matrix of leadership. So first and foremost, you need to take this front T-flap over here, and then this goes up. And when you open it, then this automatically swings open, which is pretty sweet. And then you can see the matrix of leadership right in the chest cavity over here. So, and that is removable. You can go ahead and take this. Come on, there you go. Take that out. And there it is. Matrix of leadership in hand. Now I wonder if it is the same as my Studio Series 86 Optimus. I don't even know if I can get to the Matrix from here. Maybe not. Okay. I don't know if I could open the chest cavity from here. I'm a noob when it comes down to this. I've literally only transformed this once, which was when I unboxed it and got it into its alt mode. But we'll keep this aside, and let's do more of a comparison when it comes down to their alt modes afterwards, because I don't have the time or the patience to transform both of them, unfortunately, for you. If you are interested in that, then there are people like Prime versus Prime, MGO, and a whole bunch of other Transformers collectors that have done that comparison. So go ahead and find those videos. But today we are going through just the articulation, and again, my first impressions on the figure here. So, but at first glance, I'm going to tell you that this looks identical pretty much to any other Matrix that I've seen packed in with any of the figures lately, including the Transformers One. If you take a look at my old video of the Transformers One Optimus Prime, it looks pretty much exactly the same too. Where I believe the entire thing is done in this clear plastic, where you could see that shining part of the Matrix, um, in the middle. Focus. And then you have the orange or gold, around the side, and then that silver on the outside there. But we'll go ahead and reinsert that into the chest cavity. And there you go. You can see the chest. And I wonder if he can actually hold the Matrix. Let's see. I don't see any pictures of him holding the Matrix, but let's see here. Wow, these ratchets are serious, which is a good thing. Let's go ahead and pick out the Matrix again. So to close the chest cavity, just go ahead and fold these down, push this down to lock it in. And let's see, can he even reach is the question. Can he reach his own hands? Thought that there was a butterfly joint somewhere, but I don't know if it's because these are tabbed in. Come on. There we go. So it looks like, yeah, if you untab these shoulder pieces over here, then you get access to the butterfly joint. But let's go ahead and turn hands. Yeah, I don't think, maybe, hold on, let's try. There we go. So kind of, come on, you can do it. Doesn't want to cooperate. All right, we'll get him. Now, the Studio Series Optimus from the Transformers 1 movie has a much better design. They actually added some like wingtips off to the sides of the Matrix, and then they put little like cuts in his like fist so that you can actually like just, he looks like he's holding it, but he's not. It's just kind of slotted into his fingers. But I was able to finagle it, and you could see, look how tiny the Matrix is in his hands. That's hilarious. But in any case, he can hold the Matrix with his, literally with his fingers. So that there, you could say that he could do it. And that's enough of that. We'll go ahead and start getting into the articulation, and then, like I said, the transformation of the figure. Because yeah, I don't know about you, but I am excited to see what this guy looks like in his alt mode. So opening that up, and then I'm going to here. Okay, again, Matrix is mounted. Close the chest cavity doors, and then this blue part snaps to kind of hold everything in place. This piece over here actually pegs into that part right there. So you just press that to hold everything down. So let's again take a look at Ultra Magnus, and we'll go over head to toe on articulation. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and take a look at his head. We did install these two antennae, as I mentioned. So he is on a ball joint, and he can move pretty much in any which direction that far forward. Goes significantly back for the transformation. Spin 360, and yeah, standard ball joint, but certainly a lot more back tilt than forward tilt, just because of that transformation, as I mentioned. So let's take a look at the arms. As I mentioned, these are very stiff ratchets. So you can hear and see, which is nice because he will be able to hold his gun, I think. Let's go ahead and try that. So yeah, there is a circular cut in the hand that allows it to grip. So even without the hand closed, which is nice. And then the blast effect, we'll put the big one on, and sure enough, let's see. Come on. Yep, he holds, which is pretty good considering like this is a huge blast effect and it is a little wobbly, but you know, the arm is not bending down, you know, under the weight of it, which is, you know, pretty impressive. So good on the ratchets there. He has his bicep swivel over here. So you can turn, it's just on a mushroom peg. And then let's check out the elbow articulation. So this can bend 90 degrees. And then the wrist articulation is just a rotation as well. And let's see, there's no forward and back tilt or, you know, ball joint or anything like that, but there are slightly articulated hands. You could pull the finger out to point. There is a knuckle bend over here as well, one little pin. And these three fingers are all together with a small knuckle to kind of close as well. Okay. Obviously the same on the other side, so not going to cover that. Now, the other thing, again, that we just explored to kind of hold the matrix was the release of these tabs here. So these tabs on top lock the shoulders in place. So if you want access to shoulder butterfly joints, then you have to untab those two parts over here. And then now you can bend back or bend forward. And I know it doesn't look the best, especially when you're looking at it from this perspective, from top down. But if you're looking at it forward like this, then, you know, you can, you know, have that, which doesn't look as bad, I think, to be able to kind of turn his shoulders in and out. And then the other thing that you can do, even when these are locked in and tabbed on top there, is he does have good range of motion to get in a T-pose. And, you know, it's pretty smart the way that they designed it, that his head, these shoulder pieces over here actually don't come into contact with his head over there. They don't crush his head or anything like that. So they designed it in such a way that you can put your hands up, which is great. Take a look at the torso area now. So he does swivel over here. And I'm trying to figure out if there is any type of ab crunch. Because sometimes, especially for these figures, there may be like a release or a lock. But I don't want to force it, but I'm not feeling any ab crunch there. But he is the big boy. What can you expect? Taking a look at the legs, you can kick up that far, and I think you can move the hip skirt up. Yep, so you can move the hip skirt up a little bit more and then get a little bit more clearance there. And then you can go back, and I don't know if this butt flap moves. Let's see. Yep, so you can go that far back until you hit the butt flap, and then you need to untab it, and then you could swing the leg that far back. And then let's see the side. So this side here, this hip skirt piece has less range of motion than the front and the back. You can see that it has that angle cut, and then it does come into contact with the upper body at that point. So then you can only get, well, actually, wow, I was surprised. I thought that, that would, hit the thigh a lot quicker, but you can actually kick, pretty far out. So the way that all these, the hip skirt works is looking pretty good so far. And the joints seem pretty tight, which is nice. And you can hear the ratchets, not as good as the shoulders, but there are some decent ratchets on that piece there. And then there is some slight thigh rotation on the inside there. Moving down to the knee, we'll go ahead and see how far the knee goes back. So the knee goes at a 90-degree, which is pretty decent. And then there's no other than the that hip ball joint, there is no thigh cut, there's no knee cut or boot cut or anything like that here. But we get down to the feet, and then we have an ankle rocker that goes that far. And I don't know if there's any forward or back. It does not look like there's any forward or back articulation on the heel or the toe. So pretty much all you get is this for a wide stance when you need it. But that is the articulation in a nutshell. But what are you thinking about it so far? Let me know in the comments. Do you have this figure? Are you going to pre-order this figure? Let me know. Let's see. I think we're ready for transformation. But give me a second here to grab some water because I'm getting tasty AF. And this coffee ain't helping. Hold up. All right. Stay hydrated, kids. All right. And if you're joining us for the first time, as the title obviously states, I just unboxed this Studio Series Ultra Magnus from the 86 movie. It's been sitting on ice in my storage locker for over a year, which is crazy. But the reason why I busted it out is because Hasbro just mentioned that they are re-releasing rather, this exact figure, I believe this year. Pre-orders should be up, and this has kind of been sitting here for a while. I just put my Transformers G1 collection from the movie into my glass case for the first time ever, and this is going to be added to that. So if you stay until the end, I think I might actually switch over to a droid cam, and after I'm done transforming this guy, I'll put him in my glass case so you can see how he compares with all the rest of my Transformers. So let's go ahead and get him transformed, shall we? Let's go with step one. Step one instruction sheet is massive. So the first thing we need to do is turn him around. That's what they're saying. Turn around. So there's his back, and then we need to open up these flaps on the wrist. These two areas here, that one there, and then we also open this one here. Okay. Then the next thing we do is we fold these blue guys over. I think, hold on, let me just rotate the fists because they are seemingly getting in the way. There we go. All right. So now that we have these two flaps open, we're going to go ahead and flip these down-ish. Hello? There we go. Yeah, so these slide down and back. So now, yeah, we turn him around, and now he has these things like this, and it tells us to actually bring them straight down. Over the hands, and to close it around his hands, but this hand is not cooperating with me, so just a second. Yeah. So my mistake was the hand I had on the outside of the flap, but what you need to do is keep that peg inside the flap. There you go, and then you close it from there. Tab, tab. Same here. Those two pegs go into those tabs, just like that. Okay, so that is step 4 complete. And then we need to rotate these now so that they're facing forward. So we'll do the same on this side. Rotate. There you go. All right, step 5. Step 5 says to untab the shoulder pieces. So what we were doing earlier to get the additional shoulder clearance. So that's 1, and that's 2. And then it says to push the head back. So moving the head back like so. And then we need to lift the chest cavity over. So I think this is the whole thing. Yeah, somehow this whole front section folds over. Figure out how to release. Oh, there we go. I'm just opening up these side pieces here. These sides I opened, and then I'm going to flip. There we go. That flips over now. And they didn't even mention to untab these, but that should be in the instructions. Untab those. And then this needs to clear the entire head. So we're going to go ahead and, oh, look, a little blemish over here. Let's see if I can buff that out. Looks like it's paint, but hopefully that's not on a side that gets exposed. Let's go ahead and bring all of this. There we go. That goes back. Straighten this piece out. Okay. And then we turn him around. And we flip. What do we do here? We flip all of this forward. So that goes forward, and then this side goes forward as well. And then it says that we need to tab this in. What's going on here? Hold on. Oh, I see. So we turn it around, and then you'll notice that there are these two tabs, one right here and one right there. So we got to open this and then tab. Looks like that piece goes in. Does it? That's one. You can see tabbing flush right there. Okay, and then we turn him forward again. And we continue to unfold. Straighten that out. And then one more time. We just keep unfolding seemingly the arm, that. All right. And then the back, we need to turn him around, and this flips up. And then we unflap something. Hold up. Where are we at? This door? I see. This door piece over here then unfolds. Same with this side. Straighten that out. Straighten that out. And then it looks like, actually, wait, it says to kind of keep it open. And then now it's saying to flip this around. Okay, so this piece is open. Get to the other side. We're almost halfway there, guys. Or girls. All right, so this is good. And then I take the truck face and fold that out. So that's underneath here. Okay. I feel like this needs to be more flush. Okay, there we go. We got the truck face here. It says that we fold that all down. And then everything comes up. And then the wheels come out over here. That's 1 and 2. Okay, wheels are out. And then it's saying that I need to fold this over and click. So it looks like these top pieces here, this folds down like so. And then you see all these pegs on the top over here. Those will go in and snap in like so. And then also these side pieces need to come up. And those will tab in as well, right on the top. Come on. It's not quite lined up. Let's see what's up here. Whoa. And this, I didn't realize, but this whole armor piece actually is removable. So I'm just going to work with this piece alone so that I could figure out how all of this connects, because there is some type of misalignment going on here. Hold up. Let's go ahead and slide that. Move this. Snap all this in. Come on, work with me. This little puzzle going on here. There's something that is not aligned at the base level. Trying to figure out what that is. Come on. Nope. Dang, this guy is tricky. A lot of panels. All right, let's try this again. Straighten that out. Straighten this piece. This is seemingly not high enough. I think I need to bend this upper part and tab that in. There we go. So the top, be mindful that the top, there's blue pegs on the back that peg into the back of the red piece there. And then I think that's what was misaligning me here. So we'll go ahead and snap in the front part again. Okay, so I'm going to hold that there, and then I'm going to try and snap these in on the sides. Come on. Dang. Is this? Oh, that folds in. This folds in. All right, there we go. It's one side. Let's line up the other side. All right, we did it. Wow, that was not the way that it's written on the instructions, but in any case, one thing for sure that I'm worried about is this scratch over here. So I will have to fix that blemish on the top because this is red plastic painted painted white, I believe. Or is it white painted red? But in any case, I got to figure out how to clear that red blemish off the top. That was not exposed in the bot form, but it definitely is something that's bothering me now in the alt form because you could see that in the truck. But looks like we have everything on the top sorted out, and maybe we can reattach. So this is all supposed to be done while it's still attached to the armor, but it was easier to maneuver without, to be honest. So I don't mind the fact that I had to kind of work with that there. So let's go ahead and get this bottom part through. But now it's saying that the head is supposed to be placed underneath. I don't know how that's possible because this area here doesn't allow me to clear the head. But I don't know if that's because I did it in that fashion. So hold on. Let's go ahead and pull these apart one more time. After all that work, let's go ahead, pull that apart, pull this apart, open that up. How do I get the head? There we go. Now we'll do that again. So just make sure that the head is already beneath the truck before you tab everything else in. And then once again, the first thing you do is you tab in the front section here, and then you do the sides. So let's go ahead and one, and then one, two. Now everything is tabbed in and holding together. His face is here. And does that cover it up? Or is his face just there? Let's see. Flip out the wheels on the bottom. So go ahead and turn these mofos out. Canisters are out. Just gonna hide that, straighten out the smokestacks. Okay, so that is that. So again, technically this should all be done while he is attached to the body like so, but I'm gonna say that probably better off without it, just to kind of make it easier and having less parts to hold. Let's go ahead and says to flip it 90 degrees, which would be this way. And I think I got ahead of myself with putting these together. So we'll open these up again. It is saying that we need to snap the legs together. So first and foremost, we fold the legs or these knee parts. How do I disengage the side? There we go. So these are on some heavy ratchets. Do the same thing on this side. Okay. And then there's some tabs on the inside over here. So you go ahead and tab those together. Right there. Okay. Okay, I think that's lined up. Let's work on the midsection here. Now we're at the belt. And it says we got to fold this belt up. It says it folds in, but there's this piece here. So how does that work? That folds. Oh, wait, that piece was up here. Hold on. This piece right here needs to get pushed down. And then this piece here rotates. So you rotate that piece here. And then this piece folds down on top. And there is a bit of a tab, that joint there, that you need to push down as well. And then that circular piece will slide in there. There we go. All right, we're in the home stretch. Last 10 or so moves here. All right, so we are nearing the finish line. So this says to bend the knees. Bend the knees up, and then these come forward somehow. Up. Bend forward, it says. That doesn't make sense. Hold up. Do these plug in somehow? Yeah, these panels aren't long enough to click in, so I'm trying to figure out how they shortened the legs, but there is a way, apparently, to shorten the leg. Instructions make it look so much easier. Strange. Flipping it over. It says bend the legs down. Okay. It says rotate. That ratcheting closer? It's not. What's going on here, folks? Oh, I see. There's a weird ratchet on the very bottom over here, and you need to literally bend the interior ratchet and then bend the legs back up. And then that shortens the length of the leg. Come on. And then hopefully everything should click together again now. Let's try this after that little exercise. Still no. What the heck? How the hell do you get this to reach that? Let's try that one more time. Bending the knee. Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm like shy by like a couple millimeters still. What's going on here? What is this? What is this age rated for again? Not dumb? Okay, knees bent all the way down. Okay, let's try this again. Is there something in the leg that I'm missing to shorten the knee or elongate the like even from here, like this angle. Like look at how much further it is from that point over there, which really sucks. Trying to figure out how the frig do I get that to connect. That is mind-boggling. Let's see here. Yeah, is there like something in the torso that I gotta flip? Make that easier. All right, one more time. If I missed anything on the previous step. Nope, that's all locked in. That's all fine. Step 29 says to bend. Yeah, let's put these back first. Put these back. All right. You're telling me to bend the knee here. And then bend back up. Maybe I bent the wrong way. Hold on, let's see. Bend the knee. That far down. Okay. Getting closer. I wonder if I just try and latch this in. Can I use that as leverage? So see that this tab over here? This tab goes into that hip skirt part. Go ahead and do that. that it? It's not straight, but it's connected. So there's that. So let's go ahead. Those are tabbed in now. Now it is saying to rotate these arms forward. These arms need to spin forward. Same thing here. Okay. Push these down. How do I do that? Oh, no, my mistake. These stay ratcheted there. They swing out. There we go. So they swing out and spin back. This thing is massive and such a crazy puzzle, but you got to appreciate the engineering. Anyways, so yeah, see this piece? You just flip it out entirely, and then you get that angle there. And then you lock it in with this pin. So right there, this flap right here, bend that down, and then it holds onto the arm. There's actually one on the bottom as well. So these two will hold that arm in place. Let's try the other side. Again, these two pieces over here that you see, and then this straightens out, and then you tab both of those in like so, and then you have these long ass arms. Okay, now we rotate all of this back. These ratchets are nutty. And then you take the front shoulder piece, looks like, and you fold them down. So I think it's this top part. This part here. There we go. So that part folds over and down. Do it on the other side. This piece here, just grab this tab here, pull that open, and that'll snap down. And then on to the back part. You take these wing tips and you face them in. That's these pieces here. Again, they were folded down earlier, right? Open that up, and then you have two of them right over there. And then you slide them forward. So they are here. You can see here. That's one. It's here. It's two. 37, folks. 37 of 43. All right. So we slid them down. And then it's saying that I need to take the side panel. Where am I? These side panels and tab them in over here. So we'll go ahead and that's one. And this is already kind of tabbed in there. So we'll go ahead and just flip it up. And then this guy, again, this tab right over here, we'll go into this socket right over there. That's a nice little click there. Now everything here clicks together. So there's all of these ports and tabs on the top. So We'll bring these together here. And then we'll do the same at the back. Tab. Oh wait, never mind. These need to be rotated. So make sure that the arm is rotated this way so that the solid side is up. Then these can tab together. One, and we'll tab the front ones again. Right here. Come on. Hold. Okay. And then these flap down. Figure out how to release this top panel. Oh, no, never mind. Inside, there's this little tab on the side there. So you can grab that and then that'll fold out. And then this one, same thing, right on this side. Grab this and that'll fold out. And then this panel needs to go forward, but you could already see that there's something, again, weird still kind of going on with the back side, which is, again, I'm trying to figure out how to get this back part flush because the legs are not bent the way that they should be. I'm trying to figure out how to compress the legs there. What the frig? Because it looks like there's the knee is supposed to go in, or the thigh is supposed to go into the calf somehow. But honestly, I'm not seeing that. Hold on. I'm just gonna open this guy up again. Most of it is already together, so I think it's just a matter of just aligning everything to better fit the mold. But how do I get you to cooperate? Right, let's see. Let's try this. That I think worked. Let's get this. There we go. I tried pushing everything pretty much into that knee cavity and it looked like there was a part that actually tabbed in. So let's try this again. Now we'll bend you forward, bend you up. And no, not quite. What the hell? Gotta love and appreciate the engineering. As frustrating as it is, somebody figured out how to do it. Let's get in here. And again, this obviously isn't a transformation video. This is the first time that I'm going through it. Pretty sure MGO, Prime versus Prime, all those guys have much better videos on how to get that going on. Okay, something else clicked and tabbed. Trying this again. Oh, looking good. I think that's much better than it was last time. Let's try this again. Flip this over. Get that up. Flip this over. Get that up. Make sure everything is tabbed in here. Okay, I'm going to tab in the front. So I'm tab these two together. Like so. And then we're going to tab in the sides. One. And again, this one here, two. Hey, let's go. We're almost there, folks. All right. Now it looks like, okay, I'm just going to secure these doors on the back. Okay. I think this is the last piece, which is the side panel right over here. So we're going to go ahead and looks like we hold it forward. Whoops. Untab that back set. And bring it here. And then there is this socket here and a tab right there. So we're going to go ahead and fold that and then tab that in right over here. We're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to bring this entire piece over, right? And then we're going to fold this up and then tab into this right over here. So go ahead and push that in, grab the side, and then step 42 is to pull the wheels down. Well, this also looks like it squeezes, this panel squeezes in a little bit more. So there. And then it says to pull the wheels down. So go ahead and grab this wheel. You can see that these white parts over here help that along. So go ahead and pull the wheels down, just like that. And we'll do it on the other side as well. Just grab this wheel here, bring it down, and that allows it to roll. Just make sure that everything else is all together. And it looks like it's got to turn. It around upside down and reattach this part here. It says that this head actually clips into somewhere in the back. What? There's two tabs underneath. What are they talking about? There is, oh, I see. So I'm doing this again without the trailer, so just the front. So this part over here will fold down. You can see these two tabs over here, right? Apparently Ultra Magnus has had tabs into that. So I'm going to press this all the way down. Okay. As far as it goes. And trying to find the tabs that they're talking about for Ultra Magnus's head. Oh, I see. Now, let me just give you a view here. Untab this, flip it forward. See the way that his face is there? It actually tabs into the sides of his face cavity. So these two pieces over here will squeeze on, to his face below. So I'm going to go ahead and press that down first. And then from the bottom view over here, this just clicks in. And then that all holds itself together. And you could actually see how it's lined up on the bottom there. Okay, and then we get these two parts attached one more time. Come on, click in. Doesn't like to hold on. There we go. Sweet, he's rolling, ready to roll out. All right, let's get some weapon storage. Or actually, let's get all this out of the way to show his clean look. We'll go into weapon storage in just a second. Wow, what a chore that was. But sure enough, he rolls. There's no contact with the bottom. All the wheels are connecting, which is great. Everything is tabbed in. And here is Ultra Magnus in all his glory. Pretty sweet. And yeah, the front, it's really cool how this whole area, is still accessible, can move around just like a truck should. And it's interesting because every iteration, at least in the past, like I remember my uncle's Ultra Magnus was pretty much an Optimus, G1 figure, and then you transform it and then you toss it into the armor. Where this is a completely different like redesign, and I'm not sure how the masterpiece version functions, but this is brand new to me, so I've never seen anything like this. So very very cool in terms of that. And then as mentioned, you can also, I ended up removing it because I felt it was easier to transform the truck, portion without the rest of the armor and body kind of holding on. The front looks pretty good, but I'm not gonna lie, the back looks a little dinky when you think about this, trailer bed or whatever. I don't even know what this part is called, to attach. And then it is a little gappy. So I wonder if there is an aftermarket, like a third party DNA kit or accessory that extends this to kind of give it a little bit more, or even someone who designed like a 3D print, shell that could just kind of covers that, because I think that would work really well. The back a little hollow too, so some gap fillers and stuff like that would be nice around here. Again, but the one thing that's really bothering me is the fact that there is this little blemish, this red scratch on the top of mine. So just take a look at yours. But that's either some paint transfer from when they were doing the painting of the red plastic, or I don't know if this is white plastic and then they painted it red. One or the other. It sucks that I do have this little scratch looking paint kind of thing over there. But otherwise, from an engineering perspective, this was a feat. And obviously, it was pretty difficult for me to kind of get through it. So I hope it's a little smoother for you. Otherwise, this tabs into this socket as we just did. Just tab it in all the way. And then I slid it, forward to get the most amount of, mobility from a truck perspective. And the reason also why I say that, he is, pretty dinky compared to the Optimus is, let's go and grab that guy again for comparison's sake. This is the Studio Series 86 Optimus right here. This is the 86 Ultra Magnus. So, seemingly not too different, pretty close, when Optimus is clearly larger. But then, on the front profile, not too far off. I think that they could pass. But then when you turn them sideways, you could see, significant difference in regards to how much more heft Optimus has in his legs in this. I don't know. I'm going to call it the truck bed part. Versus this guy. Like, look, if you put them directly over each other, you could see how much longer, Optimus's truck bed is, and how much more, substantial it is, without having gaps and all that other types of stuff. So even these little training wheels style wheels that they have on this guy, it's a lot more, I'm going to say, similar to the Earthrise Optimus Prime, where the wheels just kind of flip out like that. So there's definitely has to be some aftermarket parts that make this look a little bit better. So I probably wouldn't display them side by side when it comes down to just the these trucks alone. But let's go ahead and put both their trailers on, because I think that that's where they start to complement each other a little bit more. So that's Ultra Magnus there. Let's go get Optimus's trailer. And this. So just from a top-down perspective, you could see the comparison between these two. Not too bad, right? When you put them side by side from that perspective, and then even from the side profile, pretty decent as well. So, once you have everything, all together, let's see if I can grab these two. These truck bros look pretty decent. Can't even fit them both in frame, but I think, they look pretty good, like this. So very happy to have this Ultra Magnus finally transformed. And a couple things that I want to do is talk about the storage for the top. So we're going to go ahead and get Optimus off to the side, and let me pick out some deluxe figures. I think I'm going to get Hot Rod. I got a bunch. I got Hot Rod, Cup, RC, and Blur. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and see how they fit in the trailer. So first and foremost, you can flip the back of the trailer down like so, and then that creates the ramp for your friends to kind of just jump on there. So you can go ahead and roll up and in, and Cup is catching a little bit at the end, but once you pass that initial gate, then you can get Cup inside. So sometimes people have them there. There's other videos of him kind of carrying additional transformers on the top as well. So go ahead and do that. And you can also see from a scale perspective in terms of how all of these kind of fit together. Hot Rod and Ultra Magnus over here. Cup and Ultra Magnus. RC. And Blur. And even when we have them laid out, do it like this. Some of the movie figures just all in a line, so you can see how much they differ in regards to his total length from the front of the truck all the way to the back. He is just about 12.5 inches compared to all of these dudes are what, just under 5 inches. Yeah, just over 5 inches with the wingtips there. He's 4.5. I think Blur is probably the longest one because he has that pointed front. So he's 5.5, 5.75 or so. So you can see the comparison, but I think all of these scale pretty well. And yeah, you can go ahead and have different cars. It's kind of like on the trailer, and just have them kind of posed up like that. But what I want to do is actually I'm going to see if I can hook up my droid cam, because if I can get my droid cam running, then I can actually show you how everything is going to scale and fit in my glass case over here. So let's see here. Droid cam. And if you haven't heard of droid cam, it's on a couple different things, but I have it specifically on my Galaxy S23. And then you download the app onto your phone, you download software on your PC, and then you could hook them up via Wi-Fi. So I'm going to go ahead and try and bring in a second feed. So I'm going to replace this top-down feed actually, and I'm going to see if I could switch it over to the droid cam feed. Give me a second here. Droid cam over Wi-Fi. I got to set in my Wi-Fi IP. Oh, hold on. before I do that, let's do some weapon storage very, very quickly. Because once I put this in the glass case, he won't be coming out for a little bit. So all these blast effects, I have a clear plastic tin, and I just put all of these in there. So I have different colors, purple, red, blue, what have you, Battle Master stuff from Siege and other types of collections that I picked up on Facebook Marketplace. But let's talk about the weapon storage. So there are two places to mount the shoulder cannons, which are here. So let me point them out to you before I tab them in. This socket right over here, we'll go ahead and take this, peg this in. One, this peg and socket here, two, and then you can actually store the guns. So the smaller blaster you can store on this side. And the larger blaster, they say to put on this side right over here. Go ahead and toss that. There you go. Weapon storage for him. And then if you want, you can take this off just like we did with the bot mode and connect a blast effect like this. And have that huge cannon blast off to the side there, which is pretty dope. All right, now we can get into storage. Okay, going back to our droid cam switch. So let's go ahead and hook this up to the network, and that looks correct. And the one thing that I will mention is that I do have the Pro account. Pro account meaning that it does unlock the HD feature and a couple more things. So that is a paid thing through the app. But let's go ahead and try that out. Let's go and switch here. Point at the table, and let's go ahead and I'm going to remove my second screen, and I'm going to re-add my droid cam. So bear with me. Present extra camera, and let's see, droid cam source. Cool. All right, how's that? Sweet. So this is the droid cam. So you can see this right here. You can see exactly what I'm looking at, right? So I'll take you over real quick. How do I switch camera? Not that. Hold on, still trying to figure this out. So I got to rotate through the app. Sorry, bear with me here. Focus, flip, rotate. All right. So let's walk you over. So first things first, we're going to take our Optimus over here. This is my little extra life kind of display off to the side. You can see we have Optimus from Transformers 1, or Orion Pax Cogless rather, on Canada's bike from Akira. So we'll go ahead and take this guy first and get these separated. Make sure that I don't drop them. All right, follow me. Right, we're back here. Let's hold on and see actually if, I wonder if I can get the mic going on my Droid Cam. Give me a second. If I could swap that out. Hold on, give me a sec here. Sorry for the production issues. First time that I've been actually doing multiple angles, especially ones in hand. So I'm going to see if I can switch my Droid Cam settings really quick so that I can pick up the mic on the Droid Cam. So when I go into the other room, you can still hear what I'm doing. So give me a second. Let me know what you think of the Transformers so far and any other types of content that you're looking to see. Definitely trying to share more. There we go. Share audio and video, so that works. Let's see if I could switch over my audio mic. Test. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think you can. All right, so we're going to use that Droid Cam audio, and we are also going to switch over camera, switch over to the Droid Cam. All right, I think that works. Sweet. But I'm just trying to see if I can switch over to the front-facing cam. Just a hot second. All right, screw it. In any case, so these are the figures that I am going to be putting into the glass case shortly. So I'm going to go ahead and take Ultra Magnus with me so you guys can come with me into the other room. Ultra Magnus in hand. So let's go ahead and go this way. And this is the glass case. You can see. And so I just put Optimus back in there with Ironhide and Brawn and Ratchet. So I'm going to put this guy in the back, similar to Optimus. And let's see, I think I need to bring his trailer forward a little bit. Just a second, hold up. All right, so there is Optimus, Ultra Magnus, and then I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the G1 or the movie figures with me as well. So bear with me as I go back into the office here. Grab these guys. So 1, 2. I'm going to use my hoodie pocket to get these other two in here. And then RC and Iron or Hot Rod will come with me. So go through. And let's get these guys loaded up. Let's get Hot Rod, I think, should stay out because he's a main dude. I think that I'll probably put Cup inside. He's a little smaller. To the trailer. There you go. That's one. And then I don't think I could fit RC, so I'm actually going to go ahead and just put Cup in view. Over here, we'll have these guys here, and then I'll put Blur last. even though I know he should probably be first because he's the fastest, but screw it. 1, 2, and 3. So there you go. That is the Autobots from the G186 movie. I do have more that I haven't unboxed yet, and then I also have some Decepticons. I have the Galvatron, Starscream, Coronation Starscream, Scourge Sweeps, and then Springer is also missing here. But this is just a little taste of the Transformers collection there. Oh, you can see my Pokemon collection. You can see the Nintendo collection. You can see the MCU as well. So we'll close this up. And this is actually all lit too, so I know you could see them already, but hey Google, turn on the display case.
All right, turning the display case on.
Yeah, so I'm still working on hiding the wires on the side there, but since we're here, we can go through a little tour. We have the SH Figuarts Ninja Turtles there. You have the NECA Splinter. You have the Best Action Krang. We have some Beast Wars, so Masterpiece Cheetor, Masterpiece Optimus, Masterpiece Dinobot, Generations, Rhinox, and Rat Trap. And then you have Masterpiece Optimus. You have the Iron Factory, Bruticus, and Hydra Stomper. All the way up here, we have the MCU. All the original Avengers here. Guardians, Ant-Man and Wasp, Strange. You have Shang-Chi, Black Panther, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, Bucky, and Falcon. And then you have Captain Marvel and Vision there. And we have more Transformers over here. This is the crossover collection. So you have Jurassic Park, Ghostbusters, more Jurassic Park, Top Gun, X-Men, the DeLorean from Back to the Future. And we got different crossover stuff here with New Era, Nike. We got some cell phones. We got the OG Soundwave. We got the crossover PlayStation, third-party reflector. And that's the Hasbro Red Soundwave. And then to build on the Nintendo collection over here, more Nintendo and Smash Brothers DLC, Zelda, Metroid, Fire Emblem, Dragon Quest, Mega Man, Kingdom Hearts, Persona, Metal Gear, Street Fighter. We have Final Fight, Fatal Fury, Terry Bogard. We have Minecraft, Pac-Man. We have Sonic, of course, Kid Icarus, Olimar, and then last but not least, we have the Spider-Verse up here. Different iterations of the MCU, and then more of the Spider-Verse animated series over here. So quite a bit. I try and switch it up. Every season, doing a little glass case clean and change over here. But if there's anything you want me to take a look at or show in the future, let me know, and we can certainly do that again. But yeah, let's switch back over to the main cam. Hold on, how do we do that? PC. Oh, all right, back to PC. So yeah, here we go. That was a long stream. 2 hours. I don't know the last time I did 2 hours, but I thought it was definitely well worth it. We covered quite a bit. First and foremost, we went through the Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus, which is the original release that came out in November of 2023. Again, shout out to Danny Green Collects. He's the one that hooked it up when we were at the Awesome Toy Show in December. That was the holiday show that they put together. Also, shout out to Wing for putting that show together. I know he's going to be doing some more shows in 2025. I think he has a warehouse sale right now as well. So make sure to check out Awesome Toy Show to learn more about that. But the main reason that I finally unboxed that Ultra Magnus after a full year was that I believe it was either this week or last week that Hasbro mentioned that they are going to be re-releasing this figure. So it's been sitting in my storage locker for a long time. You could see that I have a lot of the 86 figures, and I'm near completion. I'm close to to having a good G1 collection. I'm trying not to go into the later series of the TV series because for the most part, seasons 1 and 2, maybe up to the movie, I think is really where I stopped. So all the other side characters and additional characters that they started to add after they killed off, a lot of the core characters from the first few seasons, I don't really care about. I went through and I'm trying to go through more of G1 and watching that again, but no one's really speaking to me. Like honestly, the OG Autobots that landed on Earth, as well as the OG Decepticons, are probably where it's at for me. The other thing too is Beast Wars. I would say is probably the franchise of all the Transformers that I have the most affinity for because I was in elementary school, going to high school when those shows were more prominent. So just me taking an interest for myself versus learning about Transformers, G1 Transformers through my uncle. There's definitely a different connection, I guess, to the Transformers. And then of course with the Bayverse, I know there's mixed feelings about Bayverse Transformers and the movies and stuff like that. The movies are good for what they are, just fun, stupid action. And I know that the bot forms for Bayverse figures aren't the best for many, but the car modes are undeniable to me. The fact that they are licensed vehicles, they look like real cars versus just like cartoony trucks and vans and stuff like that we've received previously. I will say now though, with the Studio Series figures and Hasbro, and Takara Tomy taking better care of engineering and designing all these new Studio Series figures, that's certainly what brought me in. Because, like I said, I have a handful of War for Cybertron figures, but a lot of the other generations Chug Transformers that they released in the past, they just didn't do it for me. They were close to the original G1, which had some nostalgia, but they were just different iterations. And then I don't even follow any of the IDW comics and stuff. Outside of that, the new Transformers movie, I didn't think I'd like it. Ended up falling in love with it. So I have the YOLO Park Optimus Prime, or Ryan Pax, who's sitting right over here on Canada's bike from Akira. And then I ended up picking up the Deluxe Series Optimus Prime. And latest one that I picked up was actually the Deluxe Series Megatron. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox this at a later date. There's also a DNA Designs kit, upgrade kit, that has accessories for both Optimus and Megatron, which I have on pre-order. So really excited for that to release. So I'll likely re-review these two figures, both Optimus and Megatron, when that accessory kit launches, so that we can have more coverage here. The one really cool thing is that this Megatron comes with the small fusion cannon, and the accessory pack actually comes with the triple barrel cannon that you see at the end of the movie. So honestly, I had a lot of fun, going into this Ultra Magnus figure. I never had an Ultra Magnus figure ever in my collection before, other than the original G1 figure that my uncle passed down to me, which was incomplete. And again, very limited articulation, very different than what we see or what we saw today. So I really enjoy and love what how they put the engineering of the Ultra Magnus figure together. My one gripe is the fact that, again, there was that little paint blemish on the top of the truck once I transformed him, which kind of sucks. So I might have to paint over that or figure out a solution on how to fix that. But otherwise, I think it looks excellent in the glass case. I hope you enjoyed, seeing the display that I have here at home. And if there's anything specific that you want me to pick out and re-review or take a look at in future, or send pictures or talk about, I have, as mentioned, Transformers of multiple lines. Their G1 masterpiece, third party, crossover line, music label, device label, all this other types of stuff. Definitely huge on the 12 scale action figures, specifically the imports. So SH Figuarts, Figma, Sentinel, Mafex, stuff like that. And then even more. So if there's anything, that you want to see, and, let me know, because, I love sharing my passion for collectibles, for video games, obviously. And you'll probably see me streaming some Super Smash Brothers, or if you check out my channel, you'll also see some highlights from some of my Smash online battles and tournament battles and stuff like that. So please take a look at those. But I would really appreciate, again, if you could show your love and support for the channel by hitting me up with a like, a subscribe on both YouTube and on Twitch. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So again, let me know what you want to see on the channel so you can help dictate the content that you start to see in future. Otherwise, other than games and action figures and unboxing and being more hands-on with those, I also do a series called Kicking It with Kuya Kicks, which is where I interview people in the gaming and toy community to kind of shed a little bit more light in regards to their education, their professional careers, and how they got into collecting. But otherwise, I think that is it for today. I really would appreciate the support for the channel if you can, spare some extra time. But otherwise, stay tuned for the next stream and next YouTube shorts, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.